apparently you were hired as a student.
Yeah.
While you were a student.
Yeah. I was.
Tell me about that. Yeah.
That was August 2022 when I just finished here in BAC. Not really finished. On my final year in computer systems engineering. I got hired by HB Antwerp. So basically just started as a trainee. I started the whole thing around March, where they had not talked anything about employment or potential employment or anything like that. But it was just a workshop. They just invited a few engineering students in Botswana for a workshop that they said it's from a company called WomHub. Basically, it's I think a consultancy firm that gets people hired or trains employees for other companies, but basically it specializes more with women who are in engineering and science, but by then they were looking for engineers.
So apparently the headquarters are in Belgium.
Yeah.
First time in Belgium, how was it?
Awesome. I mean, Belgium it's great. I mean, it's a country that's in the Schengen area, so you can easily cross over all the countries. I mean, with a bus, you can wake up in France and sleep in Belgium.
Was the first time flying out?
Yeah, first time flying out.
Internationally. How was that?
Yeah, man, it was awesome. I don't want to lie. I mean, I was so excited. I mean, first time being in Dubai as a student. Imagine you're not even a graduate, but you're in Dubai. You're living the life like it's like you're dreaming. I mean, first we stopped in Dubai for some time, and we went to Belgium, Brussels, and then we did Antwerp, where we stayed. Best accommodation, and we had everything to us. And the employer was like, guys, you're here to enjoy yourself, but still learn. And most importantly, we want you to take whatever you're learning here back to Botswana. So, I mean, it was an experience where you're given a card saying, go swipe, live the best of your dreams. But when you go back home, give us what we invested in you for.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was nice, man.
Yeah. Essentially, you did not go through the whole process of graduating first and applications.
Yeah.
So being a student versus being an employee, that shift itself.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great shift, basically. But I think my employer really made it easier because of the trainings that I went through before employment. And it did not really feel much of like a job because of the relaxation that it came with. And the relaxation as in, sometimes when you get in a job, you are told to stay strict, formal, corporate, and represent a whole brand now. But with me and my other colleagues, it was easier for us because we came to an engineering firm where we see people representing the brand, but still living their life freely and easily. I mean, learning about people's traditions, looking at the fact that someone can come to work with a 3/4, but still work and give out the best results, where you're coming from a country where for you to work, you're believed to look formal and all nice and all that. And you'd realize that really, your results or your production is not reliant on how you look. It's basically on how comfortable you are to give out the best results. So I think that was one of the biggest lessons I learned that side. I mean, the things we see in Google, in Microsoft, where developers have their beds, they have that comfortable space. I got to see them firsthand. So it was a great experience.
Well, how old were you?
Yeah. By then, I was, 2020. Yeah, I was 22 years.
Well, in case you're wondering who that is, this is Katso Golekanye, 2022 BAC Alumni, who studied computer systems engineering at the School of Computing here in Botswana Council College. With that, we say welcome to the podcast. We call this podcast PodBAC, a platform where we showcase what alumni are doing out there, great things in the economy, how they're contributing to the economy. So it's going to be an exciting show. It's going to be an exciting podcast. Stay tuned with us. And over to you, Katso. Whenever we start either show or podcast, we always have this cliche question. Tell us about yourself. Usually, we would just try to introduce you. We did our part. I think it's time for you to do your part. So tell us a bit about yourself.
All right. Dumela Botswana go gae. My name is Katso Golekanye, and I am an IT infrastructure engineer / head of IT infrastructure engineer at HB Botswana. I basically am a BAC alumni. I was actually the best in class 2022 for CSE. I mean, what else do I do? I'm 24 years. Yeah, I'm 24 years, and I am part of a fast-growing tech company in the diamond industry. That's the best thing I can talk about because it's the current highlight of my career. So basically, that's it for me.
Very interesting that you talk about it being a tech engineer in the diamond industry.
Yeah.
Whenever we think about diamonds in Botswana, we think in mining.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's like, let's talk about from offense from 5.
Yeah.
When you're choosing you have to select your designation of choice,
Yeah.
what you're going to study.
Yeah.
At a similar form, how did that come about? How did you get to a point where you have to say, look, I'm going to pursue computer systems engineering from this particular point on? And what was the idea? What was the end goal? Was it to jump into the diamond industry, or was it just to say, look, go out there to Microsoft? I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I met BAC when I was still in Form 5. That was Naledi Senior Secondary School. The marketing team came by to show us the courses, and I ended up seeing CSE by then. And CSE I was like, if I go to BAC, this is the course I'm doing. And it wasn't negotiable. On the table by then, I wanted to be an aviator. There's actually a video of me by a flight in the airport, because I had this huge dream of being a pilot. And unfortunately, when we were finishing, that was 2017, Botswana aviation schools became regulated properly and they were all closed out. And the Botswana government was like, guys, go to South Africa for training. And my biggest was the value at which the government was sponsoring the whole aviation journey, but it was just a diploma by then. Commercial pilot license. It was really around 600K. So I was like, nah, I think I should do systems engineering, tomorrow go to the force and be a military pilot. That was the plan.
Go to the force, become a military pilot.
Yeah.
With computer systems engineering.
Yeah, because I'd actually done a few research, but on the research, I was told, no, do any engineering degree, do anything technical, especially computing. And when you do it, it's easier to get into the air wing of the BDF.
Juni, it's very interesting how you said you did research.
Yeah.
I think when I hit Form 5, any Form 5 student,
Yeah.
I hit Form 5, the biggest confusion is, number one, is it marketable? Are you going to find a job? Is it a high-paying career that I'm trying to take on? But you did your own research.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. How did you just advise a Form 5 student who hates saying, how to go about with the research to say, look, this is what I'm going to go for because of this, this, and that?
Yeah, basically what I always say is, when you know where you want to go, everything should be simple. I mean, it all starts with a vision. It all starts with where do you want to find yourself in the next 10 years. Marketability of courses is really dependent on the work that you put in. I mean, it depends on what do you do for the market to realize where you are. I mean, look at me now. I've never been in a job interview. I'm here. Never been in a job interview, but I'm working as it is. So that's because of the work that I put in. Someone was like, you know what? I need you in my company. And that's where I am. So I believe chase what you believe in, chase what you love, then you'll work hard for it. So basically it starts with a vision. I mean, look at me. I was hungry to become a pilot. I looked for a way to become a pilot because the first option was not it. And ended up in BAC. Became passionate with developing, became passionate with the whole space that BAC was producing. I mean, BAC has so many connections with the tech world here in Botswana, and so many guys who started tech, they started here in BAC. So you get to develop and see where those people are, and became exposed like that. Ended up falling in love with the whole career, and now I'm here. I'm not a pilot.
You are a developer?
Yeah.
A tech engineer in the diamond industry.
Exactly.
Pretty cool. Now let's talk about this. You came in with a dream of becoming a pilot, going into the military in essence.
Yeah.
Somehow that changed.
Yeah.
But that changed within your time in Botswana County College.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So tell me about your time in the college itself, from going through the gates, your first class, meeting your first classmates, your lecturer and all the sorts. Just what how were you developed to becoming who Katso is now?
Yeah. And my final project, my year 4 project, so you to start there, but there is actually where I was presenting my app, where I was talking about Mrs. Verma. I came here, even though I wanted to be a pilot, I was very bad in math, very, very bad. I remember, never forget this one. When I was still in senior school, my maths teacher said to me, so I got here, ne? The first thing that you do, I mean, as an engineer, as a tech guy, it's math. Ne? Not talk about BAC, but anything, but Mrs. Verma
Please do.
But Mrs. Verma was very, very close to us. I mean, yes, we were not really the best students in terms of attendance, but she's one passionate lady, and she's been doing this for quite some time. So she changed the way I viewed math. Over time, got to pass math, went on, and I got to meet other lecturers here in BAC who are really, really passionate. I mean, there is being a lecturer, and then there is doing what you love. You understand? So I got to meet people here, lecturers in BAC, who were so grounded in what they are doing and so in love with it. I'll talk about Mr. Mandla, who taught me systems development. That's where I had a mindset shift by then. I mean, we had a conversation back then. I don't know if he remembers it now, but we had a conversation where he told me that I have to go an extra mile every time. And that's basically when I started doing certifications. So with every level, I would make sure if a book allowance comes in, I pay for a certification. Yeah, because when I finished here, I had around 18 certifications of professional bodies. So that on its own, it changed the aspect of who I am. What do I want to do? What chance does Botswana have in breaking through in technology, basically? Because I was like, okay, being a pilot is being a pilot, but what if I go this way? What if I make a real change to my country? So that's how it started here in BAC, because I saw how close I was to that because of the amount of hackathons I was exposed to, the amount of the input lectures were making in me as a student. I mean, the lectures here, like, our doors are open. If you're willing, come in. If you're not.
Well, you talked about some of the things which change your mindset, the hackathons, and you talked about the moving into it with having conversations with some of the lecturers and all together. Which other activities did you jump into that therefore, changed the whole perspective of saying, look, I'm enjoying what I'm doing and I'm going to make sure what gets Madi from my book allowance to pay for my certification, whatever certifications, or what other activities did you jump into?
Besides hackathons, what we were doing most of the time is what we called a dev fest. We would have a challenge whereby we're like, let's develop and see this thing, how it can look like. And then by that, would follow those Indian guys in YouTube. And once you get the results of that, you would end up saying, okay, I can do better. And again, the student body here in BAC, basically, as they say, who you go with will define where you go. I got to meet great people like Esero, who I had actually met in Saroe before. He was here as well. And the guy is a passionate developer. Got to go with people like that who were always developing. Got to bring myself to that mindset. Because the truth is, I came to BAC just to get a degree. I was not targeting a first class, whatnot. Nah, man. I was just here for the paper. But the students like these got me engaged, and I got hooked up over time. And I found myself where I am today.
What do you mean the paper?
The paper. I mean, just get your 40%, make sure you pass that semester. At the end of the day, get your degree. Is the first class, second class?
Yeah.
It didn't really matter to me.
As long as.
That was the mission, I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
Because I was like, my biggest target here is to get the degree.
Yeah.
That was my target.
That's it.
But then when you get to come to an environment where people are passionate about what they do, where people, even lecturers, are encouraging you, are showing you, no, man, if you want to do this, go this way. If you want to do this, go to a hackathon, be in this environment, grow from this environment, and you can even go to your lecture spare time and say, let's work on this together. When you get into university, you think lectures are those people, but They are high up there. You don't easily go and see them. But here the doors are open, man. I mean, you'd go to Mr. Mandla's office, you'd go to Mr. Friedmore's office, and you'd be able to sit down and talk with them and work if at all it's about work. So
Would you say there is active intention to produce successful students or successful graduates, rather? Well, students. In your case, you got hired while you were a student.
yeah.
Would you say there's active intention
Yeah.
from the institution itself?
Yeah, no, the institution itself is doing a lot, according to me. It's doing a lot. I mean, if you'd realize, not to say anything bad about other schools, but if you'd realize about one thing about BAC, it's the discipline. But you'd look at the school like this, you won't see things that are not okay. You won't meet a drunk student in the school. That basically is where you start if you want to start with the mindset of a successor. So BAC maintain the discipline. Following maintenance of the discipline, they go out there to bring us to competitions that we could be in and bring the best of us that we can. I remember there was a time where BAC brought UK students. I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting.
I think it was around 2019.
Yeah. Those people, when they came here, I don't know if they still do it now, but it came as an inspiration as well. I remember them telling us that, I mean, it's possible for you guys to be going through this as well, but you have to be the best. So basically, it's showing us what's possible and bringing up industry experts every graduation, showing us where this person is doing what. It's an inspiration as well. So for us as students, and I feel BAC is doing the best that they can, and it's upon us, basically. And if you want to be the best, you really have to work hard to be the best. The school can do the best it can invest, it can buy you laptops, but if you don't want to work, you won't get it at the end of the day. So, yeah. And then again, another motivation was the reality of seeing your friends losing the scholarship. Every semester you lose someone, it would be very painful. So you'd realize that, so yeah, basically that's it.
So I hear that you did a lot of volunteering in the school.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah,
That's what people are talking
Yeah.
about. Is it true? And if it's true, what did you do?
Volunteering as in what exactly? But okay, let me tell you what I did. I don't know if it's volunteering, but most events that BAC was doing, I'd show up. And I remember even after COVID, or during COVID, when BAC was buying us laptops, I was actively in the group. I've never been in SRC, but the educative parts that BAC was giving out, I was very active in. That is the allocation of the laptops, taking of the hasp keys for the laptops and allocating to students, supporting them and connecting them to the IT department. And yeah, basically that's what we were doing. And then during night studies, because we had a 24-hour study session as well here, we would assist students and then would make sure again that no noise is being taken out. And then if there's any harassment, we would connect ourselves with the security services that were in the school and the people get chased out. Because you'd find that some students are here to study, some are not here to study. So, yeah.
That's very interesting. So you, apart from studying, you also assisted a lot of students to get through with that studying as well.
Yeah, no, we were doing that, yeah.
Pivotal around the whole issue of making sure that we're all successful as students.
Yeah, I remember we had this thing with inside, semester 2, inside. So we always, as my classmates, we would have this conglomerate that we would be saying, guys, we want to make sure that we make it all. I mean, we've reduced in number, but let's make sure that the number we have currently stays as it is. So we'd always work around that and make sure that we come out like that. Yeah.
Life after graduation?
Life after graduation? Being an adult is not easy, hey? I mean, being an adult is not easy, but it's an exciting chance of growth. It was not easy when I was still starting. Right now, I'm okay. I'm doing way, way better than I was after graduation. Because by then, after graduation, before graduation actually, at work, I was still a trainee, you understand? Even if I was a trainee, I was still being taken like a trainee and a student. But after you're like, Mahiri, this is my degree.
You've got the paper.
I've got the paper. Things change now.
Besides the 40% that you
Yeah,
targeted for.
things change now. You've got a huge responsibility. Because I remember after graduation, because I returned in the country 7 days before graduation. No, that's 7. No, 4. 4 days before graduation. Because I remember I had missed a lot of calls from BAC wanting to notice me about my award. So when I got here, my mom told me, no, you have this there. And then I came to BAC, we finished the processes, and yeah. But after that now, getting back to work, everything I learned in Antwerp, we had to start here. The building here was empty, no computers, nothing. So we had to start that work and make it work now and make it worthwhile. Remember, Muhiri had said, the investment we're making for you guys here, you should go and replicate it there in Botswana. And by then, you're the only IT guy in that group of engineering students. And what do you have to do? You have to be there and work and extra and like learn more. And while doing, yes, Mahiri was doing the best they can to get another person who's from IT from that side to help me set up. But most of the work here that I was doing was a lot of challenge to me as a new guy in the industry. I mean, here I learned, yes, and it took me to a certain level, but my certifications are what really, really assisted me. Take Cisco certifications that BAC paid for us. They really helped a lot because, again, as part of what BAC is doing for our education, they pay for these special certifications, I think 2-3 times. I know they paid for networking, they paid for hardware and software troubleshooting. They also gave me a data science certificate from Tableau. So you see, as a student, these things you'd not really look at them like you're supposed to. But when you get in the field now and someone says, do, you say you're educated, do it.
So it's an issue of practicality versus the theory aspect of it.
Yeah.
Which you felt like the institution, the college, BAC, gave you that opportunity to be much more practical.
Yeah. They kind of from being a student who was affected a bit by COVID-19, it didn't affect me a lot, but having to now see switches, the Cisco, configuring them for the first time and getting them to work and set them up in a proper server room, racking, cable management, all of those things. It was quite scary, especially in an organization where you're still new and they follow the best international practices that they want to follow. And by then, those switches that you're seeing, you haven't seen them in Botswana. You're dealing with very high-end devices that are quite expensive, and you're a new guy in the industry, and it was quite challenging. But I mean, I'm here now. Everything ended up working out well for me. And I think the biggest thing that I'd always look back and say thank you is to my employer for having such confidence in a young guy like me who did not really have much to offer, but they believed in me. I think that's where it really stood out. Even after getting offers from other companies, following finishing here in BAC, because again, BAC is well connected like that. Companies would call, from BAC, we got to know that you got recommended by BAC, and this and this and this. And then they would we end up talking, and then I'd tell them that I'm sorted for now. And yeah, basically, yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break.
All right.
Then I'm going to ask you a question. I hear that you're a leader somewhere, somehow. But we'll talk about it in a bit. Oh, there you have it. Katso Golekanye, BAC, 2022 alumni, talking about how theory was now shifted into practicality within his studies in Botswana Accountancy College. We're going to take a quick break. Be back after this. Welcome back to PodBAC, Katso Golekanye, 2022 alumni, computer systems engineering. And moving from being a student, you talked about being the age of 24.
Yeah.
And you're a leader in your capacity now.
Yeah.
You are a tech engineer in the diamond industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is your time to tell me like how's that feeling?
Yeah, no,
At the age of
it's
24 and in that particular, it's a very, very, very competitive and very, I wouldn't say boutique industry, but very, very, yeah, letswa.
yeah, no, true, true. I mean, it's quite competitive, as you say. I mean, looking at where I stand as it is, we are basically a company that's even revolutionizing the diamond industry, not just in Botswana, in the whole world. I mean, if you'd really do research about HB Antwerp, you'd know what we are doing. We are basically bringing truth to the diamond industry through technologies like blockchain, which are technologies that are not really used out here in Botswana. I mean, being at the center and forefront of that, of the development of my country, it's a great thing for me. I mean, it came at a great time where truth needs to be shown in the diamond industry. I mean, my final project, year 4, I don't know if I was prophesying or what, but God has his ways. I was researching about a way to bring verifiability of diamonds, be able to know where diamonds come from as an end consumer. I mean, most of us here, you just know that a diamond is a diamond from where you don't know. So I did a research and I compiled it and I sent it to Sunderland. So for me to meet a company that now says, you know what, Katso, we want to make this technology work, and we've partnered with big bodies like Microsoft to make it work. It got so exciting for me. I got to be part of this, and for the first time in a lot of years, the Botswana government could say, this is our diamond. And the end producer could say, this is a diamond from Botswana. This is the person who touched it. This is the processes that it's been through. So you basically tell a story about your stone from the rough piece until the end.
What inspired that?
What inspired that basically is to talk about the synthetic diamonds that were messing up the whole diamond supply chain. We wanted to bring more value and more truth to the whole industry so that you would know what it takes to produce a natural diamond versus what it takes to produce a synthetic diamond. So plus it brings a true value to the diamond that you end up buying. It basically makes Botswana diamonds even more expensive, looking at us being a democratic nation that is having everything managed well, and the government making sure that resources are distributed fairly. This also came as an advantage for us. I mean, since it was done with HB, we've actually increased the government's revenue by 40% from the diamond industry. I mean, there's actually a movie that Microsoft posted that actually says these things. I'm not just saying it from my head. So, yeah, being at the forefront of that as a young BAC student, making those technologies arrive here in Botswana, it was not easy. It wasn't easy. I won't lie saying it was easy. Things like internet, we had to get a direct internet link to make these things work. Very high speed of internet to make a blockchain server basically work properly and be able to run our proper ERPs and have everything up and running in a proper manner. And yeah.
You talk about the challenges now. What kept you going with this particular project? It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's the first time hearing about it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you faced tremendous challenges as a student as well.
Yeah, no, it was.
But what kept you going? Why did you feel like I need to go and get a direct link internet? I don't know where you got it from, but what kept you going?
Yeah, okay. I'd say mentorship. That was for psychological support, for leadership support. I had a mentor. Actually, still have him now, who kept me going. Besides just that, the money. Besides just that, again, just the truth of being at the forefront of developing Botswana. I'm very passionate about my country. I mean, the government has spent a ridiculous amount of money to train me for where I am and where I am right now. So I have to push with force to make these things work. I have ISPs that we've sat in meetings and we've talked, and I've been in a boardroom talking with these guys like a fully grown leader, because I just wanted to make this thing work. Because our ISPs are businesses as well. They'll tell you, yes, we can deliver, and then you'd at the end of the day not get that. And I could not afford to have that, especially in a sensitive industry like the diamond industry. So I work with the best ISP in the country, which I can't mention now, but it wasn't easy to get it through. because we have companies again that take care of these things that I still can't mention, but it was not an easy process. Through the right leadership, mentorship, I was able to end up getting this achievement done, where a direct link basically not just from a shared OMU, but from an internet that was actually dug a line coming to our facility. So that was one of the biggest achievements that we actually had. So just to make our lines more stable, make our data more stable. And it wasn't coming at a huge price. It was coming again at a thing of saying, another company saying, you know what, because we want to be part of your transformative journey, we want to partner with you with this. And they supported me like that. And yeah, at the end of the day, this is where I am. Everything is working well.
So you posed off as a leader from a very young age.
Yeah.
You went through the challenges.
Yeah.
You know, you knew it was going to be a big challenge, a huge challenge.
Yeah.
You're a bit fearless because you approached an ISP. ISP,
Yeah.
Ghana, it's what's it called? Is it
Internet
service provider? Yeah.
Yeah.
These are big. We don't even know
Yeah.
which is which in this instance, but you knew where to go for this.
Yeah.
You're probably the first person I've interviewed ever
Yeah.
who has spoken about or quantified their contribution to GDP.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you said diamonds.
Yeah.
The value or the revenue of Botswana went up by 40%.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm proud. I'm really proud. I mean, having to see running with the values and visions of His Excellency. I mean, the most passionate thing that he always talks about, that he is passionate about, is revolutionizing the diamond industry. And finding myself being at the forefront of that, I'm so proud of it. And because even in the video that I'm talking about, that Microsoft released, it's called Moments of Truth. Find it, then you'll see it. There is where they are this side and the BAC logo appeared in the video. So I was like, yeah, that was a sign from the get-go.
What a sense of strategy.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it was a great one. So being here basically to talk about it after all it's done, and feel like it's a great achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm proud about that as well. I mean, every time I see people working, we've got very smart people that we work with, Botswana, engineers, who actually even had another story as well, who were taken as engineers. These people had a belief in them, and they're working right now. Some are laser professionals, mechatronics engineers, have these two other guys there at the company who are servicing the robots that in the whole world, only 10 were made in Botswana. And they're the only mechatronics engineers here in Botswana and Africa as a whole. These robotics were made in-house within the company. So, I mean, there are great people out there, and we are doing a lot as Botswana students to return to the government for what he's doing for us as a whole as well. And these institutions that are here, like BAC, are really making a great investment. And basically for BAC, you'd realize that it's not just about profit as well. It's about what you do internationally out there representing the school as well. I mean, being an international student with Sunderland and going to an exposure Europe, finding yourself in that space, it was a great shift. And applying myself at that space was another great shift, because I got to realize basically why BAC engaged Sunderland in making and getting our degree out there. So, yeah.
Why?
Why? You first get education from the latest standards worldwide. I mean, there's nothing that's going to be said that side that you'll be amazed about. You are always updated. I mean, when you're in Microsoft, they talk about something, you are like, oh, okay, we were taught about this. So basically that's what puts you out there.
Market relevance.
Yeah. Market relevance. I mean, you are coming to high-tech developers who are very good at what they do, and you find them talking about the things that you learned in class. And you're like, oh, okay. Because you'd find that most local institutions here, they're not so aware of what's happening out there. And tomorrow you maybe find a job out there and you go there and you start learning again. So for me, I never went through that process. Right away, I was able to tango with the guys and be able to be in the same topic with them.
Yeah. Dude, you sound very patriotic. Begs the question one would want to ask, what values do you carry with you? It's a very difficult question, but what values do you carry with you that you think are aligned to the country? And moving on to the president, might and change and all the sorts. And what values do you think they carry that are much more aligned or intertwined with the college?
I think the best and biggest value basically, ke botho. I think that's what takes you far away. I mean, like earlier I talked about discipline that you get from BAC. Basically, to know that alcohol and school does not mix, to know that school is school, business is business. That's one thing you'd get from BAC, really, that, business is business, playing is playing. And these are values that I take and I took forward. Even when we left the country, those were messages we were getting from Batsadi Baronakwano, that is the Minister of Minerals, that is His Excellency the President of the Republic of Botswana. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, both to self-reliance. Again, self-reliance, basically knowing that you can be the change and you can change and you can be at the forefront of anything you throw yourself at. So again, I'm a visionary. That's what I call myself, because I follow a Bible verse called Habakkuk 2:2. It says, write your vision on plain tablets and whoever sees it may run with it. That's basically what I do. I put up a vision. Might not achieve it now, might not have everything to achieve it now, but I know I will achieve it at the end of the day, and I work towards that. I mean, I always knew when I was in BAC that I'm going to work for a large company. I'm going to work in a space where I'm going to grow fast. I was looking at about DBS, I was looking at these huge companies in the diamond industry, because that's where every Motswana child wants to go, because we believe there's money. But basically, it's not really about the money. It's really about the exposure that you get into where Botswana's economy relies at. So for me, it happened. So yeah, I mean, if you have a vision and you know where you want to go, trust me, nothing should be able to take you off your way. And no situation should be able to take you out of your way, basically. Because look, COVID came, didn't stop, still kept on going. The Russian war started when I was in Russia, in Belgium. And remember, NATO headquarters are in Belgium. My parents were scared, my granny was scared, everyone was scared. And I still kept going, didn't return home, wasn't scared. Even that side, faced some culture shocks. We had issues that we had, challenges, they're always there. But I still kept going because I knew where I wanted to go and I knew where I wanted to be. Even now, I have huge visions in front of me that still scare me if I think about them now. But if your dreams don't scare you, as they always say, then you're not dreaming big enough. So, yeah.
Well said. If your dreams don't scare you, you don't dream big enough.
Yeah.
So I was listening to you talking about your values and all the sorts.
Yeah.
With Leboto.
Yeah.
And BAC, one of the values is integrity. So would you say both integrity?
Yeah.
Right. You talked about business as business. BAC's values is about excellence.
Yeah.
And you're very innovative. You were able to come up with that particular project that now attracted.
Yeah.
And collaboration at a young age.
Yeah.
Fearless.
Yeah.
Walked into an ISP.
Yeah.
Guys, give a direct link, internet.
Yeah.
Meaning you had to shut off a few houses.
Yeah, no, true.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically that was it.
My time with you is up.
What?
My time with you is up.
Okay, thank you.
Last words.
Okay.
Your camera is right there.
All right.
Speak into it, whatever you want to say, and inspire an upcoming student with from 5, a current BAC student who's facing challenges, who's got a big dream, and they don't know how to continue with it, and a graduate as well.
Yeah.
Your time.
All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity. But basically what I would say to you, Naka, and I know I'm very young. I think I'm the youngest of the company. I'm still the youngest of the company, yeah. But this is what I would say. Start first with a vision. A vision basically is, where do you want to see yourself? Next 10 years, 5 years. Then don't be scared to work for that. Work hard towards it. I'd say again, not to market BAC, but
Please do.
I'll tell you that if you're looking into IT business, come to BAC. You have the people here to mentor you. Everyone's office is open. I've even met Mrs. Setiliburu. Their offices are open for discussions, for whatever way you want to grow and develop yourself. The school will give you all you need. The emails are here. You can email whoever you want to email, and they'll be able to support you through. So basically what I would say is just come through. I was recently assisting some student who is surely coming here to come and do BIDA. His name is Isau. I believe he will see this, and yeah, he was able to get ready, and I gave him a few certifications that were free to show him, you see the certification, if you can pass it, then you can be able to pass in BAC. Unfortunately, he didn't pass it, but I was like, now you know what work you have to do when you get to BAC at least. So basically, that's what I'd say. It's not easy here. It's not easy, but I'll tell you, if you finish, it's worth it. Industry is ready for you.
There you have it. Industry is ready for you.
Yeah.
Well done, man. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you so much.
Until next time.
Awesome.
I hope next time when we meet,
Yeah.
you're running the country or something like that.
Nah.
Very patriotic.
No, man, I love my country.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you see, going to other people's countries, you'd really realize what Botswana is, where Botswana is. I mean, even Bonebo Europe, these guys, they have everything, yes, but you'd get to appreciate your country when you are that side, especially the beef.
Yeah.
You see the beef, my guy?
Yeah.
No.
No, I know it.
You'd want to come home.
Botswana
Beef.
Straight.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love my country so much, and being at such a time where it's growing and it's developing radically, technology-wise, minerals-wise, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. So, yeah.
Very excited to hear more about your stuff in the next 5 years. You've got a 5-year, 10-year plan.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it, man.
Thank
you so much.
As well. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. PodBAC, Katso, Golekanye, 2022 BAC Alumni, studied computer systems engineering. And he was telling us a story about what he is experiencing as an industry leader and how it was being a student and what to look forward to in the next 10 years at a very young age of 24. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.